Many spiritually aware women are incredibly insightful when they're alone, yet become confused, frustrated, anxious, and self abandoning or emotionally overwhelmed inside relationships. And that contradiction creates so much shame because you know what's healthy, you understand the patterns, you've done the inner work, and yet relationships can still pull you away from yourself. From my experience, this creates enormous frustration because outside of conflict, you probably feel very wise and grounded, intuitive and self aware, and emotionally conscious. But during emotional activation, your nervous system can suddenly override everything you know. And many women quietly carry shame around this, especially women who have spent years on spiritual or healing paths. So today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why spiritually aware women still lose themselves in relationships and why self awareness doesn't automatically change relationship patterns. One of the deepest misunderstandings in personal growth is believing that spiritual awareness automatically creates nervous system regulation. And I know this personally. Like many women, I spent years deeply immersed in healing and spirituality, self awareness, and inner work, personal growth, all of that. I explored metaphysical teachings, esoteric systems, energy work, human design, astrology, gene keys, spiritual practices, and endless forms of self discovery. And while so much of it expanded my awareness beautifully, there was still one place where I would completely lose access to myself, and that was in relationships, especially during emotional conflict or vulnerability, uncertainty, or disconnection. And this created enormous confusion because outside of activation, I felt deeply insightful. But during activation, my nervous system could still shut down, become defensive, overthink, people please, emotionally withdraw, and lose access to my clarity completely. And after working with thoughtful, spiritually aware women navigating these same patterns, I've discovered that this is incredibly common. And it's not just any relationship, it's usually romantic relationships where this happens. And awareness is not the same as embodied capacity. So you can understand your wounds intellectually and still have a nervous system that reacts automatically when emotional vulnerability feels unsafe. And that realization changed a lot for me because normally we think that if we understand our wounds and we work on them and do energy work and all of that, then it should be fixed. But we don't take into account the nervous system. And I thought for years if I become more conscious or more aware or more evolved, then these patterns will disappear. But nervous system protection does not dissolve simply through insight. The body changes through experience, especially relational experience. And this is why many spiritual aware women still lose themselves in relationships, abandon their needs, become hypervigilant, struggle to trust themselves, or even emotionally disappear during conflict. Not because they're failing spiritually, but because emotional safety lives in the nervous system, not only in awareness. And this is important because many women quietly judge themselves very harshly for this. They think, well, I should know better. I've done so much healing. Why am I still reacting this way? But healing is not only cognitive or spiritual, it's physiological. The nervous system moves faster than conscious awareness. Protection responses happen automatically. And this is why embodiment matters so deeply. Because eventually, healing stops being about gathering more insight and becomes learning how to remain connected to yourself while emotional vulnerability is happening in real time. And that is the deeper work. Not becoming perfect, not transcending human emotions, not bypassing attachment wounds through spirituality, but actually helping the nervous system gradually learn connection can remain safe. Conflict is survivable. Vulnerability does not require self abandonment. And you no longer have to disappear in order to protect yourself. That changes relationships. And if you recognize this in yourself, please know you're not failing. Because many deeply conscious women still carry nervous systems that learned protection long before they learned emotional safety. And healing includes helping the body feel safe enough to stay present inside love itself. In the next video, we are going to explore another question that I know many women have, and that is, what's the difference between intuition and attachment fear? Because they can be tricky, they can be very close. If you're interested in learning more about embodied repair and the nervous system healing in real relationships, you can subscribe below to the channel. And if you want to understand why awareness can disappear during emotional pressure, you can also download my free guide below. It's called Why You Understand Yourself But Still Lose Yourself in Relationships. If this was helpful, let me know. I look forward to your comments, and until next time, bye-bye.